Hey YouTube, welcome back to another exciting episode of Frankenstang. Well, I think where we last left off, I had everything pre-fit. I was getting ready to weld everything on. I am now happy to report, as far as the left side of the car, all the major work has been completed. And just to remind you guys that may be tuning in for the first time or may have forgotten what this Mustang was in here for, you can see there's been a lot of work. This car came in here originally for that scratch in the door down there that was repaired improperly. And this, I jokingly say, is what needs to be done to fix a scratch in the door. You can see this pile that I cut off of this car. This is an absolute mess. This is the wheelhouse that was on there, and you can see it was made up of two different wheelhouses because the car had been in an accident, and just an absolute mess. Torch cut, rust. They never attached the wheelhouse to the quarter panel. Unfortunately, it was a new replacement quarter panel that they totally screwed up. But moving over, you can see there's floor, there's a section of the old floor that was laying over top of the patch from another car, door jamb, rocker, inner rocker, regular rocker, pieces and this and that, just an absolute mess. All of this came off just the left side of this car. Now we have something that's safe and sound. This whole area here, I made up a filler piece, welded in place. The roof, the quarter panel is welded to the body of the car, the structure of the car, and then the roof is welded to the same thing. So what we had before were these two panels were just welded to each other and nothing else. That was why he was getting all the cracking, all the fitment issues. Now everything is welded the way it's supposed to be. Moving forward, we now have a good solid floor pan, front to back, one piece, all the way, and then all the way back around. New upper torque box. You can see some patchwork that they had in the back. We have elected to leave that. It is sound, so rather than spend any more of his money, we're just going to go ahead and leave that the way it is. All this structure here has been repaired, excuse me. Everything back here, this whole panel was removed, all of that was replaced. As I said, nice and strong now. Gaps are good for a pre-fit. Preliminary, this is really good. This door closes real nice. Little bit of work on the upper gap right there, not bad at all. For a reproduction quarter mating up to a factory door, that's not bad. Rocker panel installed. Fender, a little bit of work up here. You can kind of see where the door itself goes straight. So I'll be doing a little bit of work on the door, but for the most part, I am done with the left side. Everything that is left is all in the bodywork stage. So Frankenstang is coming together. I went over the hours, went everything with the customer, and even though we are way up on the hours, he has elected to continue, and we will be cutting this side off here. Now, hopefully, we don't get into anything major over here. My hope is that we can cut this quarter off, cut the wheelhouse off, repair what's behind there. There's a little wave in the rocker over this way. Hopefully we can fix all that without too much headache, get a better gap here, adjust this door a little better to the rocker panel, and so on. We'll get this fitting real nice on this side. But we are not, fortunately, we are not going to have to remove the rocker panel on this side, which really is what led to that pile on the floor. Every time I would take something off, I found more behind it. And when you're trying to put new panels on a car, you need to have things that you can weld to that are sound. Well, I couldn't weld to any of this stuff. So that's why we had to keep going and keep going and keep going till we got to where we are now. Trunk gaps are good, happy with that. As I said, everything here, I'm completely happy with the left side of the car now. Very strong, very sound. Nice solid thud when you close the door. Before, you could actually see things moved when you close the door. No more missing welds. I did find some welds from a previous repair that had never penetrated, so we corrected that. But we're going to be going on to this side. Now, I'm going to walk away from this car for a little while. We put a ton of hours on it. Grand total from start to where that was as of today, just shy of 180 hours since the turn of the first screw on this car. So you can imagine how expensive this thing has become. You can see down inside there. I'm going to go ahead and wire brush that a little bit more and treat the back sides of those welds, but all that metal in there is sound, strong. If we go over to this side, if the camera picks it up, we look inside here, we see the same mess that we had on the other side. You could probably pick up the fact that there's nothing but jagged metal in here. So we'll be doing the same type of repair as far as the sail panel goes on this side. I'll cut that window you see marked out in tape. I'll cut that first. We'll see what we're dealing with before I ever cut this quarter panel off, just in case something might move on me. And then we'll cut the quarter off, wheelhouse, repair what we need to, and move on to the next. Everything should come out real nice on this car. I mentioned to you the door on the other side. You can see the gap on this side is much better. The door and the fender follow each other, and that's because there's some repair work, as I mentioned before, on that other door. But there's the pile. That's what you have to cut off of a Mustang to fix a scratch in the door. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, subscribe. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. I'm going to walk away from this car for a few weeks, get on to some other stuff. My shop is full, so I will catch you in the next video, and we will see what we uncover on the right side. Let's hope the right side is right. Thanks, guys.